Today is the 12th of April, a Shabbat, an exciting one, more than the usual special day that God commanded us to observe each week in fellowship and communion with Him. Special because it is the Shabbat that falls on the 14th of Nisan, therefore taking precedence over the Passover celebrations that begin with a Seder, or festive meal, to remember the Passover that took place in Egypt in the year 2448 from the time of creation on the Hebrew calendar, or 1313 years before the birth of Christ on the Gregorian calendar. In other years, Jews and those who follow their traditions laid down in the Bible for all to see would be remembering the slaughtering of the sacrificial lamb on that first Passover, leading to the Israelites and a multitude, we read in the Bible, who believed in their God and were led by God's hand out of slavery, both spiritual and physical, into the wilderness and the meeting on Mount Sinai when God met with Moses, giving him the commandments that believers follow to this day. As today is Shabbat, the festive meal will begin this evening. I really welcome this Shabbat and the opportunity to rest in the presence of God, for it has been a hectic week and I appreciate this time to be still, re-evaluating my place in His kingdom. As I ponder, I know that I have much work to do in my spirit. My soul is not at peace, my mind is troubled, and my heart is sore. I am not in a good place, I know that. Indeed, this is not new, but it is today that I assess my situation and honestly come before Him in humble obedience. I need to come out of my own Egypt, I think to myself, not for the first time. As so often happens, I turn to my devotional, I hear His whisper, and it immediately speaks into my very soul. I am your feast, is the first sentence I read, another timely word that I share today, for I'm sure it speaks to many. There is no need for another to satisfy you, my beloved, for I am your feast. I am the one who brings true satisfaction. I bring you contentment, yet even in your contentment your hunger for me will grow. I told the woman at the well to take a satisfying drink and she would never thirst again. I refresh my memory in looking at the Gospel of John, chapter 4, verses 1 to 14. When Yeshua learned that the Pharisees had heard that he was making and immersing more disciples than John, although it was not Yeshua himself who immersed, but his disciples, Yeshua left Judah and set out again for the Galilee. This meant that he had to pass through Samaria. He came to a town in Samaria called Shechem, near the field Yaakov had given to his son Joseph. Yaakov's well was there, so Yeshua, exhausted from his travel, sat down by this well. It was about noon. A woman from Samaria came to draw some water, and Yeshua said to her, "Give me a drink of water." His disciples had gone into town to buy food. The woman from Samaria said to him, "How is it that you, a Jew, ask for water from me, a woman from Samaria?" For Jews don't associate it with people from Samaria. Yeshua answered her, "If you knew God's gift, that is, who it is saying to you, 'Give me a drink of water,' then you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." She said to him, "Sir, you don't have a bucket and the well is deep, so where do you get this living water? You aren't greater than our father Yaakov, are you? He gave us this well and drank from it, and so did his sons and his cattle." Yeshua answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will get thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give him will never be thirsty again. On the contrary, The water I give him will become a spring of water inside him, welling up into eternal life. We know that she said, "Give me this water," and then went off to bring more people to Yeshua to drink too. And yet, I read, continuing on in my devotional, as she drank of my love, she thirsted for more of me. This is the type of feast I give you, one that satisfies and creates a deeper hunger for my word. Nothing will satisfy you if you are not filled with me. In my presence there is fullness of joy. Apart from me, you will find nothing but barrenness and brokenness. I will give you only what satisfies. If you seek my spirit, I will not give you a counterfeit. If you seek my living bread, I will not give you poison. Fear will always pollute your soul and keep you from my feast. Come to me without fear. Come, eat and drink of me. In me, you will find satisfaction like nowhere else. Based on Song of Songs, chapter 6, verses 2 to 3. My darling went down to his garden, to the beds of spices, to pasture his flock in the gardens, and to gather lilies. I belong to the man I love, and he belongs to me. He pastures his flock among the lilies. Let me leave you now with these words. I'm going to a feast where I remember a lamb that was slain, so that all could come to the feast and taste living waters and never ever be thirsty again. Are you coming with me?